Hello, and welcome to our podcast, Theo's Coffee Break, where we talk about what's going on in our world while getting to know each other on a more personal level. I'm your host, Theo, and for today's episode, I would like to talk about something that I was thinking about while I was in the shower. What does it really mean to have faith over fear? Because lately, people have been questioning my sanity, like actually questioning if I've lost my marbles. You see, I walked away from a full-time job at a financial institution after receiving another promotion and another raise, only to leave the opportunity to pursue a podcast, a 7-part music project release, and a vision that hasn't yet promised me a single dime. On paper, I get it. It looks and sounds completely reckless, maybe even unstable, as many people in my life have pointed out. But before we get into what you don't see and the reason for my decision, let's define what faith is and what fear is. Faith is not wishful thinking. It's not ignoring reality, despite what many have assumed. Faith is a deep, unwavering trust in what you can't yet see. It's the conviction that something greater is guiding you, even when the path ahead is foggy. Faith is choosing to believe that your steps are still meaningful, even when the outcome is uncertain. Faith sounds like, I don't know how this will work, but I believe it's worth pursuing. Fear, on the other hand, is the voice that tries to keep you small. It's not always loud. Sometimes it whispers. It tells you to stay safe, stay predictable, stay still. It tells you the unknown is dangerous, that risk equals rejection, and that failure is fatal. Fear sounds like, if I try and fail, I'll lose everything. But here's the thing. Fear feels protective. It thinks it's helping. And sometimes it has. Fear has kept us alive. But if we let it lead forever, we never actually live. So that is why I chose faith in my decisioning. Not because it's easy, but because it's liberating. So now I'm working every day. Weekends too. My mental health is the best it has ever been, on top of my physical health as well. Before and while I was making the decision to walk away from all that I knew up until this point, I was vomiting every day, stressed to the max, burnt out, irritable, and with no energy to do anything once I clocked out from my day job. But now that I am an entrepreneur and full-time small business owner, I'm at peace, eating better, sleeping better, reading again, writing again. And as the previous episode has established, I am living my days with structure. I'm not out here lounging around waiting for success to come my way. I'm building something from the ground up, from scratch, and pursuing the future success of my small business with no safety net. And even though many people have walked away from me, cut me off, or have even called me crazy, there's a sense of peace within my very being that I can't explain. And I have never felt more alive and present within my own life until I made this choice for myself. So today, I want to talk about what it really means to choose faith over fear when starting something new. Because when the whole world thinks you've lost your mind, you have to have faith in your vision and not give in to the fear and doubt that other people may try to project onto you. So, let's get into it. I didn't leave my job at the bank because I was failing, or as some have said, because I don't want to work anymore. I left because something inside me knew that if I didn't take this opportunity to expand and grow my small business, I might regret not taking the chance when it was presented to me. Yes, I had just gotten another promotion with another raise. I was on the right path, as people would say, a path that was laid out for financial security and even more success on the horizon. But I felt this ache, an ache deep within my being, that there was something more out there for me, something more than money, something with meaning. So I did something that looked absolutely insane and worrisome. I walked away. No cushion for potential failure, no backup plan, just this calling in my chest that kept saying, you were made for more than living a life without meaning. And it's wild because the moment I left, life didn't get easier. No, it got way more complex, with more curveballs than I could have predicted. But with all of those difficulties, my vision got clearer. That leap of faith, it didn't land me in luxury. It landed me in honesty and getting real with myself and what I wanted out of this life. And that was something that I didn't realize that I craved more than just another paycheck from living another day. Since then, every single moment has been nothing but work. I may not clock in like I did before, but I also don't clock out either. Being a business owner and entrepreneur, you have to be ready for anything 24/7, because when the opportunity presents itself, you have to treat it like literal gold. One conversation could change the whole trajectory of your life, and that kind of collaboration allows you to not just do big things, it also allows you to think bigger and create from a perspective you could have never attained by yourself. I've been building my podcast, Theo's Coffee Break, from scratch. Writing, editing, interviewing, learning, collaborating, creating, producing, developing, educating, and putting it all into motion from the ground up. All because I had a conversation about this idea, and the Grand Rapids Media Initiative Company, they helped me bring that idea into reality. On top of that, I've been prepping to release a 7-part music project that also would not have happened if it wasn't for the art of collaboration and being around other like-minded individuals that believed in my vision and also what I was hearing. So what is it that keeps me going, even when there are moments I want to turn back with my tail between my legs? I'm working out twice a day. Not because I'm obsessed with fitness, but because moving my body helps me move through the fear. I've been eating at home, mostly because it's more convenient, and I like that my boyfriend is like my personal chef. But even so, this has felt like a gift. A gift to be able to eat at home and not consistently vomit from being stressed out of my mind and feeling out of alignment. I'm journaling again to meet myself and get to know who I am on the page authentically. I'm reading like I used to when I was a kid, tearing through the pages, falling in love with learning again. And even though I still have no financial security, I'm sleeping better. Because I am no longer running away from myself. I am no longer ignoring my calling. I am pursuing a life of fulfillment, joy, and authenticity while working towards financial security and the gift of a consistent paycheck. But I get it. I totally hear the reasoning and logic behind the recklessness in my choices. I also know that living your life while being honest with yourself is the best policy, the hardest policy, especially when it comes to facing yourself in the mirror and getting real with your decisions and what you've been repressing to the point you thought you could forget it, but were never really able to. That's what people don't see because they are so focused on the risk when all I see is reclamation over my God-given life. And yet, nobody's cheering me on. Some friends have disappeared completely. Others have expressed concern that I've lost my grip on reality. And then there have been the few that have expressed a quiet excitement, but really I know deep down inside they are thinking, what the hell is wrong with this guy? To be honest, it hurts because I've always tried to be sincere, optimistic, and kind. But people can twist sincerity into weakness, optimism into being naive, kindness into a target. I've been gossiped about, ghosted, and made to feel like a cautionary tale. Look at this guy, kids. This is what you don't do in life. And yes, I do hear it. I see it. And I'll be even more honest. This makes me feel more alone. But I think the loneliness has made room for truth. Because I'm not surrounded by noise anymore. I'm surrounded by self. And the more I sit with myself, the more I realize I haven't gone crazy. I've just finally stopped abandoning who I really am. And while I wish things were different, I appreciate the cold, hard reality that I wasn't made for everyone. And now I know I just haven't met my tribe yet. So here's the wildest part of this whole story. I've never felt more at peace. Not because everything is perfect, not because the money's rolling in, not because I have it all figured out, but because, for the first time in a long time, I'm living a life that is mine. I wake up every day and I know who I'm becoming. And sure, the future still scares me sometimes. I still have moments where I panic, where I spiral, where I question everything. But even then, there's this stillness, a quiet knowing inside that says, this is your path, and you are safe, even here, right now. I used to think this sense of peace was something you earned by getting everything right. Now I understand it's something you claim when you decide to stop betraying yourself. So let's talk about success. The kind the world tries to sell you, and the kind your soul actually needs. Because I used to think success meant the title, the paycheck, the nods of approval from family, friends, and people who barely knew me. But now, Success looks like a morning where I don't dread my day. It looks like recording an interview that makes my guest feel less alone. It looks like remembering to nourish my body, speak kindly to myself, and hold space for the quiet voice within. It looks like this: a heart still beating after complete heartbreak and shattering disappointment. A dream still alive even when the world has made it out to be and feel impossible. A soul that's done waiting for permission to go after what it knows is best against all odds. If that's not success, then maybe we need a new definition altogether. So I want to leave you with a few questions because maybe we can collaborate and figure this out together. This is not homework. This is heart work. When was the last time you made a decision that didn't make sense, but it felt right? What would your life look like if you trusted what you define as a sense of peace versus trusting other people's opinions? What would it feel like to finally choose faith over fear? You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need everyone's approval to live your truth. You just need one brave moment at a time. I'm still figuring it out, but I promise you, you're not alone. And I hope to hear from you because maybe through collaboration, we can figure this out together. Thanks for joining Theo's Coffee Break and sitting down with me while we talked about choosing faith over fear. I want to hear from you and know your thoughts regarding the heart work. Let me know what you think by sending your opinions to Theo's Coffee Break Podcast at gmail.com. And hey, if you really like being a part of our coffee break sessions, please subscribe and follow and turn those notifications on so you don't miss out on the next episode. Please don't forget to let me know what you're thinking regarding this episode by sending me an email to Theo's Coffee Break Podcast at gmail.com because I sincerely cannot wait to hear from you, and I just might share your original thought on the next episode. Have a great day, and don't forget that you will always have a place at my coffee table.